Now is the moment that we're all looking forward to. I'm stressed out. We pulled it out at 120. It kept climbing up for a bit, so let's get into it.
Yeah, you good, chef?
Hey, yes, yes, I'm here. Prime rib roast. Let's fucking make it. Let's go. So here we have this beautiful mastodon piece of prime rib roast that I bought yesterday. It's been drying in the fridge. It's looking amazing. And it's way too much meat, but you know what? I'm gonna share this with my neighbors, with my filmer, with my homies, you know, and it's a good time. Okay, this is gonna be a very simple recipe. We're gonna sear it first. We're gonna make a nice rub with mustard and herbs, kind of the classic rub. We're gonna put that in the oven, forget about it, and then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, this is not necessary, but I think, I wanna do a little bit of a scoring on the fat, give more chance of fat to render out. There's a little bit of a score, just like when you're doing a duck, Okay, and then here, same here. Just, a little surface, just so this fat can render out a little more, and then you can get some salt in the cracks. First of all, we're gonna start this pan right now so it can get nice and hot. I would probably suggest to use a cast iron pan, but I don't think I have one that's big enough to fit this whole thing. You can also just put this in the oven, high temperature, crank it, get a nice sear. So while this is getting nice and hot, we're gonna start with some salt. I always use that coarse salt when I season stuff, but you know what, for this, I don't wanna get full, sometimes the big salt will kind of stain the meat, and I don't want that. So I have this Barbie pink Himalayan salt, rub it in there. Open up the cracks so you can go on all sides like this, you see? If you have a butcher that's, a homie or he's cool or you know him, ask him to remove those bones here. That's gonna make your life way easier when you're gonna slice your pieces after. And yeah, you can always ask him to clean the bones for you. That's what I did. I could have done it for you guys, but who has time to watch me do some butchering for an hour, The guy's an expert, so let him do it. And just to start this, good old olive oil. And if you have the best olive oil in the world, why not use it? Here, it's nice and hot, so you have to go fast. And then boom, fat side down. Oh yeah, it smells already pretty fucking nice. Look at this. Oh yeah, baby. All right, so now you can kind of get your heat on medium high, because the goal is to render out some fat, Render out some fat first, and then we can crank it up for the other sides, but you don't need to burn everything, guys, okay? You don't need to go fucking full crank like they tell you to do in the movies. It's all about control. It's about controlling your heat, controlling your meat. Control your heat, control your meat, okay? Oh yeah, baby, that's a nice little crusty. But what we can do while this is going is start working on our rub. Let's get some herbs on this cutting board here. And we can start just, getting some thyme leaves off the stems. So now, you can just talk about life, talk about Christmas, What are you guys gonna make for Christmas this year? A good old turkey again? I think we need to change this whole turkey thing, It's an old tradition. Turkey sucks, It's just always dry. It's not always dry, but people always make it dry. Enough with the turkey, guys. Go crazy. Treat your friends to a nice piece of beef like that, and they'll come back every year asking for more, like a bunch of crackheads. Fuck, this time is so fucking weak. Okay, let's see. Now we can get this big boy on the side like this. Maybe it's time for a bit of a discard of all this fucking fat. Oh my god. Okay. We're not trying to fry the beef, we're trying to sear it. If you fry it, as you start drying out the meat, you want to just give it a nice sear. There's already enough fat in there to render out, so sometimes there's not too much fat to it's no bueno, no bueno. No bueno, papi. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. So while the beef is searing, I think now would be a good time to subscribe to my channel, because we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Let's get there together. Share the passion for cooking, for beef, for pasta, for good times, Is there any longer job in the world than to freaking get some thyme leaves off the sprigs, It's a pain in the ass, That's probably enough time, right? Okay. So I'm gonna do this blend in there. You can probably use also one of those robot. All right, so thyme goes in. I'm also gonna go crazy. I'm gonna put all the herbs I can find in my kitchen right now, okay? I also have this chives here. It's on its last stretch, okay? It's almost not good anymore. Then also, we're gonna add some parsley, obviously, because it's always nice and fresh to have parsley in there. You can put the stems, I guess, and everything. Fuck it, you know? Let's not go crazy here. So go in the blender. Stems are full of flavor. So go crazy. Maybe like not the biggest chunks there, but that's good enough for me. We have all the herbs in there. I want this crust to be flashy green, baby. And let's not forget, you know, the last herb will be rosemary. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna get some nice sprigs of rosemary. Yappa, yappa, yappa. That's probably a good amount, right? Guys, what should I do with all this rosemary? Okay, I don't want to waste it. Tell me in the comments. Should I make like a rosemary oil? Should I just puree it? I don't know. What should I do? I don't even know. I'm out of inspiration, guys, okay? Now, same as the time. You just want to get the green, not the big fucking sprigs. It's a long process, but I swear to God, once you're done with the rub, it's pretty much, you know, it's chill time, you know? You can get back to, I don't know, if you have some work to do, you know, if you have some other things to cook for Christmas, you can get the probe in there and fuck off for an hour and come back. Play Call of Duty, you can go watch a movie, you can just stare at the oven the whole time, you know? I should have probably watched it. Rosemary 2 has been outside for a long time. I mean, I don't think no one pissed on it, but, you know? That nasty Montreal rain. It's probably full of piss, actually, you know? As far as herbs are concerned, that's done. Dusted. Now, oopsie, that did not go as planned. I was expecting a lot of things to happen, but not this. Now the floor is full of garlic. I got the Berks on though. See, no one ever sees this beautiful part of the videos, okay? It's always nice and sexy all the way up. But once you go, you know, once you go around the counter and you see what's going on here, it's not always glamorous, guys, okay? See those fat socks here? You got the Berkeys, you got the gym shorts, because, you know, I like to be in shorts, okay? It's comfy. But that's all you get, guys, okay? Garlic, let's go. Yeah, yeah. Now we can cut the tip here, because no one has time to peel those garlic one by one. I'm gonna put probably this whole head of garlic in there. You know, who doesn't like head of garlic? What? You know, just smash away. When you smash like that, you know, everything just kind of like, what the fuck is up with my fingers? All black and shit. Let's make smack, make smoke. Boom, boom, boom. Now we can just drop the peeled garlic right in there. See, garlic there, perfect. See, it just peels by itself when you smash it like that. It's a beautiful thing. I should have probably put the mustard at the bottom of this blender, to be honest, now that I'm thinking about that. But hey, good thing we have a Vitamix, because anything goes, you know? I want to fucking have the breath of an old Italian nonna who lost her toothbrush and has been eating pesto for the last week. You know, that's what I want to smell. See, we're almost done with the rub. I have this black pepper here. It's already pre-crushed, I guess. I have here a mix of grainy mustard and regular Dijon mustard. All right, so I'm gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna just put everything in there. It's a big rub, baby. It's a big piece of beef. Add all that mustard right in there. And that's why I was telling you guys that maybe putting the mustard first would have been easier, but hey, we'll see. Olive oil too, just to get, you know, bring everything together. Also want to use this butter here that I have. This butter looks fucked up, but you know, I'm gonna add it in there because probably won't be good anymore. You can also add spices, I don't know. You can add something else in there. For me, I like to keep it somehow simple, just like 17 ingredients in there. But no, I'm just saying you can like, you crazy with some spices if you want, but in the end, I want the beef to remain the star of the show. This is just gonna make the crust. Now it's time to blend this thing into the most amazing paste in the world. Okay, go. Okay. Oh. Hey, oh. Is there? Ah, okay, cool. Ah, hey, chef. Ah. Hey, look at this crust, okay? Oh my God. No cap. This is fucking crazy. Look at this. Try this. Oh, it's garlicky though. All right, cool. This is done. You're fired. You're done. Peace out. Okay, so prime rib roast is seared. It's beautiful. It's, you know, got that crazy Maillard reaction. We're gonna combine this crazy Shrek-looking paste. This primary roast that's seared to perfection, and then it's oven time, and then we can, you know, have a little break, chill, smoke a ciggy. I don't know. You know, that's up to you. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna do the rubbing on here. Transfer that on here, and oh my god, look at this. Look how beautiful this is already. It's time to get your hands dirty. I mean, you don't have to. You can just kind of look like this, to be honest. Rub that shit everywhere. Some people will like wrap the bones in foil so they don't burn, but you know what? Like, who the fuck cares about the look of a bone, you know? You have pretty much this whole thing covered in paste. I'm gonna put this. Do I need to fucking do this part too? I guess so. A little bit on the back here as well. You know, don't forget the butt. Get some in the holes too here. You know, let's get probably penetrate inside the meat. That's what we want. Beautiful thing. Okay, we can transfer this on here for now. And don't waste any of this here. There you go. So we have all surfaces nicely rubbed. If you're gonna spend that much money on a freaking prime rib roast and you have, you know, other friends coming over, don't be a cowboy. Don't be like one of those like, oh, I can eyeball this. No, just buy a probe. Don't be a loser, you know? Like, buy one of those. You put that in there. It's on your phone. It's not a sponsored ad, okay? I don't even care. Shout out to Meter though. Put that in there. Your phone's gonna tell you, hey, that much time remaining. There's one downside though. I've read in the comments once that made me laugh to this day. Someone said, love the probe, except that it leaves a El Chapo tunnel in your meat, which is true. But you know what? El Chapo tunnel or overcooked meat, you know? I don't know. Right in there. And now the phone should tell us, press on there, you see no cook setup. Yeah, I'm gonna make that happen right now. Don't worry about it. And then set up cook. And now where are you cooking? You're cooking lamb, fish, pork, beef. So beef here, roast, prime rib, oven. I want it to be rare, baby, okay? Rare is the move. I mean, we're gonna pull it out at rare. It's probably gonna be medium rare while we cut it, and it's gonna be beautiful. So rare is good. Then you can just do start cook, and yeah, and then that's it. And then we put it in the oven. So we got the oven preheated on 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna put it in there for, I have no clue how long. And we'll see you in 5 hours. And we're back. You know, it's been 2 hours since this thing went in the oven, even probably more. You know, we ordered pizza, we had a friend that came over, even played some Call of Duty, got some emails out of the way. You know, it was a productive day, but now it's back. My app says here that we have 20 minutes before this beef is ready. But we also need to rest this beef for at least 1 hour, so all the good juices can go back where they belong. When we slice into it, it's gonna be perfect, pink, medium rare, I don't know, we'll see, but it's gonna be perfect. Okay, so now we have time to kill again, you know, and we cannot play Call of Duty all day, so I'm thinking we're gonna make a nice little sauce. But, you know, I like the classic kind of roast beef with a nice jus, we say jus in French, you guys can say jus. I wanna keep it kind of clean. Actually, these are the trimmings from the little butchering that happened for my prime rib roast. So we have nice little bones, but also a bit of meat. And also here, I have beef stock that I made the other day. I have this very weird container full of wine. I mean, it's not a weird container, it's a very cool container, but it's a weird one to be containing wine, okay? But yeah, I wanna keep it simple. So just shallots, beef, herbs, stock, wine. So very hot pan here, I got the trimmings. I'm gonna get those in the pan right away. There we go. Instant coloration, baby. Look at this. It's really hot, you know. Trying to get a nice coloration on there, so that's perfect. Now, while this is going, I'm gonna cut 2 shallots, but you know, we can leave the skin on, that's fine. Here, skin on. There you go. Can add this right into the pot. See, I keep this temperature fully cranked up, baby. So yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta freestyle. You know, I wanna get this nice and peppery as well, so we can add some peppercorns in there. You know, a couple of peppercorns. There you go. Add some rosemary from the garden. Also, a good amount of thyme, you know? Hey, voila. Oh yeah, baby. Like I said last time, you know, don't be scared of searing, you know? People are always like,
it's probably good.
no, leave it longer, you know? Trying to build flavor in here, okay? I love this pot, by the way. You know, it's a perfect pot for everything. You can pop that little wine open here too. Yo, these containers, you know, you need those, okay? You need those. Look at this. See, you got all the big deli ones, the small deli. You know, it's clean, organized. Stop buying random ass Tupperwares. It's expensive a little bit, you know. I'll put a link on my Amazon thing, but yeah, because you know, in the restaurant game, people always used to use the round ones, but they always break. They're hard to stack. The square ones are perfect. They stack well. Good old deli container red one. Ah, interesting taste. You know, when you delay something, if it doesn't sound like this, you're doing it wrong, guys. Now you can add the rest of the wine. Fuck it, we'll put everything. I cannot fucking see this thing in my fridge for another second. Now we can reduce this shit, you know, can reduce the wine. Almost there. We can reduce this wine till it's almost fully evaporated, just so we can have that nice wine flavor. And once we get there, we can add beef stock. Yeah, you see, like we're doing all this glamorous cooking here with like $200 prime rib roast, and guess what? You know, this is what we get for lunch, like losers. Fucking $50 of Pizza Hut, like losers. Look how shitty this pizza is, you know? Look at this shit, you know? That's what we get for lunch. Because, you know, we decided to fucking make 5 hours recipe. So now we have to eat, and then we ate pizza, and then, you know, get a bit of a downer after this pizza because there's so much fucking gluten and cheese. Our meter app is saying here, oh, it says 4 minutes remaining. Then we can pull this shit out, leave it to rest. And then, oh yeah, then we have these to take care of. I forgot about these. But, you know, this was part of the plan because now that we have this thing in the oven for a long time, there's a bunch of fat that's rendering out from this massive roast. So all the fat at the bottom of the tray is gonna become the seasoned fat for the potatoes. And we roast them in the oven while it's gonna rest. So, you know, plenty of time. Plenty of time. We're probably gonna be here for another 4 hours. So, you know what? You know, we have plenty of time. Okay, so the wine's been almost fully reduced. Now we can add some beef stock. Oh, Billy. And we'll let that reduce nice and slowly. So nice and slow, then we can strain it and then, oh yeah, and then also I forgot, we're gonna add all the resting juices from that big boy in there at the end. The sauce has been reducing for half an hour now. It's, you know, not much left in there. I low-key, you know, was playing Call of Duty and then I forgot it, so now it's a bit too much reduced. But hey, guess what? You live and you learn, you know? All right, so now the goal is to just strain this here in a new pot like this. You know, you never want your stuff to be too thick when you're doing a roast beef like that. You want something nice to just like, you know, be generous with it and kind of soak in the meat. Oh, you can really taste the nice touch of rosemary and thyme in there. It's beefy, it's delicious, and that's done. Oh, that's hot. Ooh la la. Hey, that's a prime rib roast if I've ever seen one. So now I'm gonna do two things. I want to get the fat that's in there. So I'm thinking maybe the best way to do it is just to kind of like hold it like that. Oh, don't fuck that the crust. Whoa. That fat is fucking flavorful, baby. It's time to say goodnight to our beef roast. Wrap this up in foil like this. And like I always say, you know, you should always let your meat rest for as long as you cooked it. So today we're not gonna do that because it's gonna be insane to wait for that long, but I think a good hour is gonna be perfect. All right, so this can go on the side for now. And in here, we are going to make the craziest roasted potatoes in that beef fat. You're gonna go like this. And you can add them as you go. You know, we're gonna place them nicely like this. You know, you can probably do it a bit smart like this. It's smarter, you know. Okay, potatoes. I got green beans, potatoes. I don't even know why I'm placing those like that, to be honest. I don't even know. You know, it's gonna look nice, okay? It's gonna look nice. And now we can straight up put this in the oven, or you can give it a little bit of a crank here and put this on there. We're just starting to get a bit of a color on there. Look at this, you know? Just to get them started, and then we can just send that right in the oven. Like earlier, 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And we can forget those for a bit. And guess what? Now we get to chill for another hour, you know? So yeah, we'll see you in an hour. Look at this. I just want you to understand how beautiful this is. Look at this. Just look at this here. Oh my, look. Oh my God. Doesn't get crispier than this, guys. Look at this. Probably just leave those to rest in the pan for now, you know, let them chill. And we're back for the final part. I mean, almost the final part. We still have to taste it, but now is the moment that we're all looking forward to. I'm stressed out. We pulled it out at 120, so it kept climbing up for a bit, so it might be a bit over, but you know what? It's always a stressful time. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be too much. I mean, you never know. You never know. But hey, there's only one way to find out. So let's just, just cut into it. Okay, so first thing first, I'm gonna get these bones here off. So this can stay on the side for now. And now we're gonna move this bad boy over here. The moment we have all been waiting for. You can cut this into like 1 inch, 1.5, 2 inches. That's really personal, up to you. But let's start by cutting here, see what happens. Well, guys, not gonna lie, it's a bit overdone, to my taste. It's more of a medium now than a medium rare, and I was even like aiming for rare. So, sometimes you just play Call of Duty and you forgot about your beef. Good thing is we have the best sauce ever. It's still, nice and juicy. That's also very good. But one thing I've probably done differently is pull it out at like 110 instead of 120, because it did carry from 120 to 145, which is insane. Maybe because my crust was just like, trapping everything inside. It just kept rising. But anyways, we're gonna put a nice slice of this right in our plate here, just like this. Now we're gonna add those little crispy taters on the side here. Just a nice little pile, Just put everything on the side. That's perfect. A bit of that beef fatty on the side like this. Perfect. Now for a final touch, it wouldn't be a good roast beef without the best jus or sauce. And finally, for my favorite part of every single episode, it's tasting time. Let's try this, guys. Let's go. Whoa. Even though it's like a bit over, look at how tender this is. Nice and soft. When beef is crazy tender, every bite you get a bit of the crust. And that sauce, come on. All right, let's see those potatoes too. With that sauce in there. Wow, crispy, well seasoned. The only thing beats a good old roast beef,